Have you ever felt like something was off about someone, but you just couldn't explain why? You ignored the feeling, convinced yourself you were overthinking, and kept them close to realize later they were never who you thought they were. The truth is, evil doesn't announce itself. It doesn't walk into your life with a warning sign. It sneaks in, disguised as kindness, charm, and familiarity, and by the time you see it for what it truly is, the damage is already done. But here's the good news. Once you learn the red flags, you'll never be blind to them again. If you stay with me till the end of this video, you'll gain the ability to spot an evil person before they get the chance to destroy your peace. You'll learn how to protect yourself, how to walk away without guilt, and most importantly, you'll take back the power that nobody should ever have over you. Evil people don't always look like villains. They don't come into your life with an obvious plan to hurt you, no. They take their time. They learn your weaknesses, your fears, your hopes. And once they have enough control, that's when their true colors start to show. The worst part? By the time you realize you're dealing with someone dangerous, they've already wrapped themselves deep into your life. They've made you question yourself. They've planted seeds of doubt. And they've made sure that walking away won't be easy. That's why awareness is power. The moment you can identify an evil person, you take away their advantage. You stop playing their game. You regain control of your emotions, your energy, your life. But here's what you must understand. Evil doesn't always come in the form of open aggression. Sometimes it comes wrapped in the sweetest words, the most convincing apologies, and the most deceptive smiles. That's why so many people fall into the trap time and time again. Think about it, though. Many times have you given someone the benefit of the doubt even when their actions clearly showed you who they were? How many times have you explained away someone's toxic behavior because you didn't want to believe the truth? That's human nature. We want to see the best in people. We want to believe that everyone has a good heart, but not everyone does. And the longer you refuse to accept that, the more you put yourself at risk. The most dangerous people aren't the ones who openly show their intentions. The most dangerous people are the ones who make you doubt yourself. They manipulate, they deceive. They make you feel guilty for even questioning them. They make you feel like you're the problem. And once they've got you in that position, they can do whatever they want because now you're too confused, too drained, too lost to fight back. But not anymore. Because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for. You will recognize the signs before they get the chance to pull you into their web. You will no longer be easy prey for those who seek to destroy your peace. And that is the greatest power you can have. So, are you ready to see the truth? Are you ready to learn the 8 red flags that reveal an evil person before it's too late? Then stay with me. Because the knowledge you're about to gain could save you from years of pain, regret, and emotional destruction. And once you see what I'm about to show you, you'll never unsee it again. Red flag number 1. They manipulate you subtly. Evil people don't attack you head on. They don't come into your life with obvious destruction. No, they operate in silence, using manipulation as their greatest weapon. And the most dangerous part? They do it so subtly that at first you don't even notice. It starts with small things twisting your words, making you question your own memory, turning your concerns into jokes. One day, you express how something made you uncomfortable, and instead of acknowledging it, they laugh. Oh, you're too sensitive. You're imagining things. I was just joking. And you pause. You think to yourself, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. That's the trap. That's how it begins. They make you doubt yourself little by little until one day you stop trusting your own judgment. They turn your confidence into confusion. They take control of your mind without ever raising their voice. This is not by accident, it's by design. And then it gets worse. You find yourself apologizing for things you didn't even do. You feel guilty for standing up for yourself. You hesitate before expressing your feelings because you know somehow they'll twist it against you. Suddenly, the person you once trusted has become the master of your emotions, controlling how you think, how you react, and even how you see yourself. This is what manipulation looks like. It's not always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's a slow poison, seeping into your thoughts, making you believe you're the problem, when in reality, the problem has been them all along. Pay attention, are they constantly shifting blame? Do they always have an excuse for their actions but never accept responsibility? Do they make you feel guilty for expressing your own emotions? If the answer is yes, you are dealing with someone who does not have your best interests at heart. You are dealing with a master manipulator, someone who thrives on your self-doubt, someone who needs you to question yourself so they can stay in control. And here's the truth. No amount of love, patience, or understanding can fix this kind of person because they don't want to change. They don't want to be better. Their goal is not to build, but to break. Not to heal, but to harm. And the longer you stay, the more power they will have over you. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let someone else control your mind? How many more times will you let someone twist your reality until you don't even recognize yourself? You do not exist to be someone's puppet. You do not exist to be manipulated, deceived, or controlled. Your voice matters. Your feelings matter. And the moment you recognize that someone is trying to take that away from you, you need to make a choice, stay and suffer, or walk away and reclaim your power. Because the truth is, manipulation only works when you allow it. The moment you stop playing their game, the moment you start trusting yourself again, they lose their control over you. And that is when you finally break free. Red flag number 2, they never feel guilt or remorse. There is one thing that separates a good person from an evil one, the ability to feel guilt. When a good person makes a mistake, they feel it. They carry the weight of their actions, they take responsibility. But an evil person, they don't feel anything. They can lie, cheat, hurt, and destroy and sleep peacefully at night. Watch closely. When they do something wrong, do they own up to it? Do they look you in the eye and say, I was wrong, I'm sorry? Or do they make excuses? Do they twist the situation until somehow you're the one apologizing for their mistake? This is not normal. This is not just a bad habit. This is a lack of conscience. And a person without a conscience is dangerous. They will hurt you and act like nothing happened. They will betray you and expect you to move on like it was nothing. If you cry, if you get angry, if you show pain, they won't care. In fact, they might even get annoyed. They might call you dramatic. They might tell you to stop overreacting. Why? Because they don't feel what you feel. They don't understand pain the way you do. They don't carry regret the way you do. And that is why they can destroy people without a second thought. Think about it. How many times have you been hurt by someone only to realize they felt absolutely nothing about it? No remorse, no shame, no real apology. Just a cold, empty response. That is not a mistake. That is who they are. And if you keep expecting a person like this to suddenly grow a heart, you are only setting yourself up for more pain. This is the kind of person who will betray you and justify it. This is the kind of person who will see you break down in tears and feel nothing. This is the kind of person who will ruin your life and act like you deserved it. And the worst part, if you stay long enough, they will make you start questioning if you're the one who's wrong. But listen closely, your emotions are not weaknesses. Feeling guilt when you hurt someone is not a flaw. It means you have a heart. It means you have empathy. It means you are human. But they are something else entirely. And the longer you stay, the more you will start losing your ability to feel too. Because the only way to survive around them is to numb yourself. The only way to endure the pain they cause is to shut down. And once that happens, you are no longer living, you are just existing in their world, where nothing is real, where nothing is felt, where nothing truly matters. So ask yourself, how much longer will you stay in a one-sided reality? How much longer will you accept fake apologies, empty promises, and cold indifference? You deserve people who care when they hurt you. People who feel the weight of their actions. People who look at you and see a human being, not just a tool to use and discard. Because a person without guilt, a person without remorse, a person without a conscience is a person who will destroy you without a second thought. And when they do, they won't look back. They won't lose sleep. They won't care. So before that happens, before you lose yourself completely, walk away. Save yourself. Because they never will. Red flag number 3, they take pleasure in your pain. A good person feels uncomfortable when they see someone suffering. Even if they've made a mistake, even if they've hurt someone unintentionally, they feel the weight of it. They want to fix it. They want to make things right. But an evil person, they don't just ignore your pain, they enjoy it. Pay attention. When you're struggling, do they show concern or do they seem entertained? When you're in pain, do they try to help or do they act like it's nothing? Worse yet, they seem to get happier when you're upset. This is not normal. This is not someone who loves or respects you. This is someone who thrives on control. Because to them, your pain is proof that they hold power over you. They will push your buttons on purpose. They will say the one thing that cuts the deepest. They will humiliate you, embarrass you, make you feel worthless, and then they will sit back and watch. Because for them, this is not just an argument, this is not just a misunderstanding, this is a game. And the more you break, the more they win. Think about it. Have you ever shared something personal, something painful, only for them to later use it against you? Have you ever had a moment of weakness, only for them to throw it back in your face? This is not an accident. This is not something they do without realizing it. They know exactly what they're doing. They are testing how much you will take. They are seeing how far they can go. Because the more they break you down, the more control they have. And here's the truth. If someone can hurt you and feel nothing, if someone can watch you suffer and feel satisfaction, they are not someone you should ever keep in your life. Because today it might be small insults, little jabs, passive-aggressive comments, but tomorrow it will be bigger, it will be worse, and by the time you realize how deep they've pulled you in, you'll feel like there's no way out. That's how it works. They don't destroy you overnight. They do it piece by piece, word by word, moment by moment, till you're too broken to fight back, until you accept the pain as normal, until you believe that this is just how things are. But it's not. It's never been normal. It's never been love. And the sooner you see that, the sooner you can take your power back. Because the truth is, no one who loves you should ever find joy in your suffering. No one who cares about you should ever take pleasure in your pain. If they truly valued you, they would protect your heart, not destroy it. They would lift you up, not break you down. They would never use your wounds as weapons against you. So ask yourself, how many more times will you let someone play with your emotions like a game? How many more times will you let someone smile while you cry? You do not exist to be someone's entertainment. You do not exist to be their victim. And you do not have to tolerate even a second more of this treatment. Walk away from anyone who feeds off your pain. Walk away from anyone who gets a thrill out of your suffering. Because if they can enjoy watching you break, they will never stop breaking you. And the longer you stay, the more you lose, the more they take, the more they win. But the moment you leave, that's when they lose all power. That's when they realize you were never weak. You were just too strong for too long. And now you're done playing their game. Red flag number 4. They are pathological liars. Evil people do not deal in truth. They do not value honesty. They do not respect integrity. Instead, they lie constantly, effortlessly, and without shame. And the most dangerous part? They do it so convincingly that at first you believe them. At first, the lies seem small, harmless. They tell you they were somewhere they weren't. They change details in a story to make themselves look better. They twist facts to shift blame away from themselves. But over time, the lies grow. Suddenly, you find yourself questioning everything. You find yourself wondering if anything they've ever said was real. Because when someone is a pathological liar, their entire existence is a fabrication. Pay attention. Do their stories always seem to change? Do you catch them contradicting themselves, but when you point it out, they make you feel crazy? That is not normal. That is not a misunderstanding. That is deliberate deception. They want to confuse you. They want you to doubt your own memory. Because the more confused you are, the more power they have over you. And here's the truth. These people don't just lie when they're in trouble. They don't just lie to cover their mistakes. They lie for sport. They lie for control. They lie because deep down, they know that if you ever saw the full truth about who they really are, you would leave. Think about it. How many times have you caught them in a lie only for them to turn it around on you? How many times have they made you feel guilty for questioning them? How many times have you known something wasn't right, but they convinced you otherwise? That is not love. That is not trust. That is manipulation. The problem is when you care about someone, you want to believe them. You want to trust that their words are real. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But when someone is lying to you repeatedly, when someone is deceiving you without hesitation, You have to ask yourself, what else are they hiding? What else have they done? Because if they can lie so easily about the small things, what makes you think they won't lie about the big things? And make no mistake, this kind of person does not change. You cannot love them honestly. You cannot beg them into the truth. Because to them, lying is not just a habit, it is a way of life. And if you keep accepting their deception, it will only get worse. You will spend your days questioning reality. You will lose sleep over things that should never have been questioned in the first place. You will slowly start to lose trust, not just in them, but in yourself. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let someone fill your life with lies? How much longer will you accept a reality that is built on deception? The truth may hurt, but living in a lie is far worse. Because when you build your life around a liar, nothing is real, nothing is solid, nothing is safe. You deserve honesty. You deserve the truth. And the moment you realize that this person will never give it to you, that is the moment you take your power back. That is the moment you walk away. Because the truth is, they don't just lie to you, they lie to everyone. And if you stay, you will become just another person caught in their web of deceit. But the second you leave, that's when you break free. That's when their lies stop controlling you. That's when you finally step into a life where truth exists. Then life will be so much better than the one they tried to keep you trapped in. Red flag number 5. They gaslight you and twist reality. Evil people don't just lie, they do something even worse. They make you question your own mind. They make you doubt what you saw, what you heard, and what you know to be true. This is gaslighting, the most powerful weapon of manipulation. It starts small. You call them out on something they said, but they deny it. You remind them of something they did, but they claim it never happened. You know what's real, yet somehow they make you second guess yourself. They say things like, you're imagining things, you're overreacting, that never happened. And slowly you begin to wonder, maybe they're right, maybe I am wrong. This is how they gain control. Because once you start doubting yourself, once you stop trusting your own thoughts, they can feed you any version of reality they want. They can rewrite history. They can erase their mistakes. They can convince you that the problem isn't them, it's you. And that's when the real damage begins. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You start believing that you're the one being difficult. You silence yourself. You suppress your instincts. You no longer trust your own emotions because they have trained you to believe that your feelings aren't valid. Think about it. How many times have you felt confused after talking to them? How many times have you replayed a conversation in your head, trying to figure out if you were the one who misunderstood? How many times have you known something deep in your soul only to let them convince you otherwise? This is not normal. This is psychological warfare. And if you allow it to continue, you will lose something far more important than the relationship. You will lose yourself. Because here's the truth. If someone truly cares about you, they will never make you question your own reality. They will never manipulate your emotions just to control you. They will never twist the truth to make themselves look innocent while making you feel guilty. A healthy relationship is built on honesty, clarity, and mutual understanding. But when you're dealing with an evil person, those things do not exist. With them, there is no truth, only their version of events. With them, there is no accountability, only blame shifting and mind games. With them, there is no peace, only an endless cycle of confusion and self-doubt. So ask yourself, how many more times will you let someone rewrite the truth? How many more times will you let someone tell you that what you saw with your own eyes never happened? The more you let it continue, the more you will lose touch with reality. And that is exactly what they want. Because a person who doesn't trust their own mind is a person who is easier to control. But you are not weak. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You know what's real. You know what happened. And no amount of manipulation can change that. So stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to prove what you already know. And stop letting someone convince you that your reality is a lie. Because once you see the truth, once you really see it, there is no going back. The spell is broken, their control is gone, and you finally understand that the problem was never you. It was them. It was always them. Red flag number 6. They enjoy your pain. There's something disturbing about the way evil people react to your suffering. When you're in pain, when you're struggling, when you're at your lowest, they don't feel sympathy. They don't feel guilt. They don't feel remorse. Instead, they feel satisfaction. A normal person sees someone hurting and wants to help. They feel a natural urge to comfort, to support, to make things better. But an evil person, they see your pain as an opportunity. They see your weakness as entertainment. They enjoy watching you struggle because it gives them power. It makes them feel superior. It reminds them that they are in control. Pay close attention to how they react when something bad happens to you. Do they pretend to care, but deep down, you sense their excitement? Do they say things that make your pain feel even worse? Do they offer help in a way that still benefits them? That's not love. That's not kindness. That's predatory behavior. Some of them won't be obvious about it. They won't openly celebrate your suffering. Instead, they will disguise their enjoyment behind fake concern. They will smile when you cry, but tell you it's just in your head. They will use your lowest moments to manipulate you further, saying things like, "See, this is why you need me. No one else will put up with you. You're lucky I'm still here." And that's the real danger. They want to make you believe that your pain is proof of their importance. They want you to feel so broken, so helpless, that you start thinking they are the only person who understands you. They are not. They never were. They are simply the person causing the suffering in the first place. Think about it. Have you ever shared your struggles with them, only to walk away feeling worse? Have they ever used your pain against you, throwing your vulnerabilities back in your face? Have they ever made you question if you even deserve happiness? That is not love. That is sadistic manipulation. And here's the truth. Someone who truly cares about you will never take pleasure in your suffering. They will never use your pain to control you. They will never sit back and watch you fall apart when they have the power to lift you up. Because real love, real friendship, real human connection, it is built on empathy, on kindness, on a genuine desire to see each other thrive. But evil people, they don't want you to thrive. They want you dependent. They want you weak. They want you so emotionally drained that you can't even imagine life without them. And that is exactly why you must break free. Because the longer you stay around someone who feeds off your misery, the more you will lose yourself. The more you will shrink. The more you will start believing that pain is normal, that suffering is love, that this is just the way things are. It is not. It never was. And deep down, you already know that. So ask yourself, how much longer will you allow someone to take joy in your suffering? How much longer will you let them use your pain as their entertainment? The moment you realize that they do not love you, that they only love the power they have over you, that is the moment you break free. That is the moment you take back your strength. Because once you walk away, once you stop feeding them with your suffering, they lose. They lose their control. They lose their ability to hurt you. They lose the power they once had. And you win. You reclaim your peace. You reclaim your happiness. And for the first time in a long time, you reclaim yourself. Red flag number 7. They never take responsibility. Evil people are never wrong. At least that's what they want you to believe. No matter what happens, no matter what damage they cause, they will always find a way to shift the blame. They will twist the truth, rewrite the story, and somehow, in the end, you become the problem. If they lie, they say you misunderstood. If they hurt you, they say you provoked them. If they fail, they say someone sabotaged them. They will blame the world, their past, their stress, their childhood, anything and everything except themselves. And if you dare to hold them accountable, be prepared, because they will not admit their mistakes. They will attack you instead. They will call you sensitive. They will accuse you of overreacting. They will flip the conversation so fast that before you even realize it, you're the one apologizing. And that's exactly what they want. They want to escape responsibility while making you feel guilty for even bringing it up. Think about how many times they've avoided accountability. How many times they've hurt you and never once said, "I was wrong. I'm sorry." How many times they've played the victim even when they were the ones causing pain. Because that's the game they play. If they can't be the hero, they will make themselves the victim. But they will never admit to being the villain. And this isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Because when someone refuses to take responsibility, they will never change. They will never grow. They will never stop hurting people. And that means you have only two choices: accept the endless cycle of blame, or walk away from it forever. Because here's the truth: no relationship, no friendship, no connection can survive without accountability. Real strength is not in never making mistakes, it's in owning them. Real integrity is not about appearing perfect, it's about having the courage to admit when you've done wrong. But an evil person? They don't have that courage. They will never have that courage. And if you're waiting for them to change, you will be waiting forever. So stop expecting an apology that will never come. Stop trying to make them see what they refuse to acknowledge. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Stop hoping that one day they'll finally take responsibility. They won't, because they don't care about the damage they cause. They only care about avoiding the consequences. And that's why you must protect yourself. Because the longer you stay, the more you will start doubting yourself, the more you will internalize their blame, the more you will start apologizing for things that were never your fault. And that is how they win. Not by being right, but by convincing you that you are wrong. But you are not wrong. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You see the truth. You know the truth. And now it's time to accept it. Because once you stop expecting accountability from someone who refuses to give it, you take away their power. You break the cycle. You walk away not because you lost, but because you finally realize that the only way to win is to stop playing their game. And that is where true strength begins. When you no longer seek closure, when you no longer beg for understanding, when you realize that you don't need their apology to heal. You heal by choosing yourself, by choosing peace, by walking away from the endless blame and reclaiming the power they tried so hard to take from you. Red flag number 8. They drain your energy and steal your peace. There is a certain heaviness that comes with being around an evil person. It's not always something you can see, but you feel it. Every conversation, every interaction, every moment spent with them leaves you exhausted. Not physically, but emotionally. They drain your energy like a parasite, feeding off your kindness, your patience, your forgiveness, until there's nothing left of you but an empty shell. And the worst part? They make you believe that you are the problem, that you are too emotional, that you are the one who overthinks. But deep down, you know the truth. It's not you, it's them. It's their negativity, their chaos, their endless need for control. Because no matter how much you give, no matter how much you sacrifice, it is never enough. They always want more. Think about it. Have you ever felt completely drained after talking to them? Like all your happiness, all your energy, all your motivation was sucked out of you? That's not normal. That's not love. That is emotional warfare. They keep you in a constant state of anxiety, confusion, and self-doubt. One day they act like they care. Next they make you feel worthless. One moment they are kind. Next they are cruel. This cycle is not an accident, it is intentional. Because as long as you are emotionally exhausted, you are easier to control. You are easier to manipulate. You are easier to break. And that is why they target people with good hearts, people who are understanding, people who see the best in others, because they know that you will keep trying, they know that you will keep forgiving, and they count on that. Because the more you focus on fixing them, the less energy you have to realize that you are the one who needs saving. But here's the truth. You cannot save them. You cannot heal them. You cannot love them into being a better person, because they do not want to be saved. They do not want to change. They do not want peace, because peace means they lose control. And the only way to win against someone like that is to walk away. Because the moment you cut them off, the moment you stop feeding them your energy, something incredible happens. You start to feel lighter. You start to feel free. You start to remember who you were before they poisoned your mind with their toxicity. And that is when you realize you were never the problem. They were. So ask yourself, how much longer will you allow someone to steal your peace? How much longer will you pour your energy into someone who only drains you in return? Because the longer you stay, the more you will lose yourself. But the moment you decide that your peace is more important than their chaos, that's the moment you take your power back. Because real love, real friendship, real connection, it never drains you. It never exhausts you. It never makes you question your worth. And the moment you walk away from the person who does, that is the moment you finally step into the peace that you have always deserved. Some people walk into your life like a blessing, and it's where you build the kind of strength that no one can ever take away from you again. Because being alone doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to walk without needing constant validation. It means you're no longer dependent on the wrong people to feel worthy. It means you'd rather have peace by yourself than chaos with the wrong company. That kind of strength is rare. And that's why they wanted to keep you trapped, because they knew the moment you stood on your own, you would never need them again. But here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to walk this journey with you. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table, and that's okay. You don't need a crowd to be valuable. You don't need approval to be powerful. You don't need to be surrounded by people who don't respect you just to avoid being alone. Because real strength isn't found in numbers. It's found in knowing that you can stand tall even when no one is clapping for you. So embrace this season of solitude. Use it to grow. Use it to heal. Use it to sharpen your instincts so that when the right people do come into your life, you'll recognize them instantly. You won't settle for half-hearted love. You won't tolerate selfishness disguised as friendship. You won't entertain people who only show up when they need something. Because once you've walked through the fire of being alone, you come out with a different kind of wisdom. You no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer try to convince people to see your worth. You know your worth, and that changes everything. People may call you cold. They may say you've changed. They may not understand why you've set boundaries so high. But that's because they don't know what it took for you to get here. They don't know the battles you fought. They don't know the nights you spent rebuilding yourself from the ground up. But you do, and that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, you're not here to please people. You're not here to make yourself small just to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You're here to rise, to evolve, to become so strong that no one's betrayal, no one's manipulation, and no one's absence can shake you ever again. And when you reach that level of self-respect, you won't fear being alone. Because you'll understand something powerful. You were never alone to begin with. You always had yourself. And that was enough all along. Once you embrace solitude, something powerful happens. You start seeing people for who they really are. Without their constant influence in your ear, without their manipulation clouding your judgment, you finally recognize the truth. And sometimes that truth is painful. You realize that some people never cared about you. They cared about controlling you. They were never invested in your happiness. They were invested in their ability to use you. And the moment you stop playing their game, they start to panic. Because when someone loses control over you, they do one of two things. They try to pull you back in, or they try to destroy you. They might suddenly act kind, pretending they've changed, hoping to manipulate you into letting them back in. Or they might start attacking you, spreading lies, turning people against you, making you look like the villain. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they can't stand the fact that you finally see through them. But here's what they don't realize you've already won. The moment you saw the truth, the moment you choose yourself over their games, you became untouchable. Because now, their words don't affect you. Their opinions don't control you. Their tactics don't manipulate you. You see them for what they are, desperate attempts to pull you back into their toxic cycle, and you refuse to go back. Because the biggest lesson you've learned is this: not everyone who loses you is a loss. Some people are only in your life because they thought they could control you. And when they realize they can't, they leave. Let them. Don't chase. Don't explain. Don't defend yourself. Because people who truly care about you don't need to be convinced of your worth. And people who don't care will never see it, no matter how much you prove yourself. So you keep your focus forward. You don't waste your energy trying to make toxic people understand what they will never acknowledge. You don't lower yourself to their level just to prove a point. You don't let their bitterness infect your peace. Instead, you rise. You become so strong, so confident, so sure of yourself that their absence feels like a blessing, not a burden. And that's the kind of power they never wanted you to have. Because once you reach this level of self-worth, no one can manipulate you again. No one can trick you into staying where you don't belong. No one can make you feel guilty for protecting your peace. You've outgrown them. You've outgrown their mind games. You've outgrown the version of yourself that tolerated their disrespect. And that's why they're angry. That's why they try so hard to pull you back in. Not because they love you, but because they hate losing their grip on you, but they already lost. And you've already won. Because real strength isn't in proving them wrong. Real strength is in knowing that you never needed their approval in the first place. So you move forward, head high, heart steady, and you never look back. When you finally break free from toxic people, you step into a new reality, one where you are no longer controlled, no longer manipulated, no longer drained by those who never had good intentions. And at first, that freedom feels strange, because for so long you were made to believe that you needed them, that without them you'd be lost, that cutting them off meant you were being harsh, unforgiving, or even selfish. But now, standing on the other side, you realize something powerful. You were never the problem. They were. And all they ever did was keep you distracted from your true strength. They filled your mind with doubts, made you question your own worth, and convinced you that you weren't good enough unless they approved of you. But the truth? You were always enough. You just had to see it for yourself. And now you do. Now you understand that being alone is not a punishment, it's a gift. Now you see that losing them wasn't a loss, it was a blessing. Because now you have the space to grow into the person you were always meant to be. No more walking on eggshells. No more pretending to be smaller to make them feel bigger. No more sacrificing your peace for people who wouldn't even lift a finger for you. Because once you wake up to who you really are, once you see your own worth without their validation, you become untouchable. Their words can't break you. Their absence doesn't shake you. Their opinions hold no weight in your life. Because you've built something stronger than their approval. You've built self-respect. And that right there is the greatest victory. Not proving them wrong, not getting revenge, but walking away, healing, and becoming so powerful within yourself that nothing they do can ever reach you again. That's the real win. That's the final step. That's what makes you unstoppable. So from this moment forward, you don't waste another second explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't lower your standards just to keep company with those who never deserved you. You don't let the fear of losing people keep you tied to relationships that drain you. Because now, you know the truth. You are the prize. Your energy, your loyalty, your kindness, it's valuable. And not everyone deserves access to it. Not everyone should be allowed in your life just because they want to be there. They have to earn that place. They have to prove that they bring peace, not chaos, that they support, not sabotage, that they respect you, not just when it's convenient for them, but always. And if they don't, you walk away without hesitation, without guilt, without second guessing, because someone who is truly for you will never put you in a position where you have to question your worth. And the ones who do, they were never meant to stay. So stand tall, walk forward, let them talk, let them wonder, let them regret ever taking you for granted, because you are done explaining, done justifying, done shrinking. You are finally free, and that is a power no one can take from you. Now, if this message resonated with you, if you've ever felt trapped in toxic cycles and found the strength to break free, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another life-changing message. Because of this journey, it's just beginning. And your best days, they're still ahead of you.